Arno. Floor is yours, and you are talking exactly about what I was mentioning about citizen engagement tools to get people involved in the SDGs and what we do.
Thank you very much. I'm going to talk the next few minutes about the potential of web intelligence and visual analytics tools for smart, sustainable cities. And in terms of global communication flows, we have already built a few years ago communication monitoring platform around the SDGs for the United Nations Environment Program, which was presented back in 2016. And we believe that type of system would also have a lot of value to take on a more regional level to analyze stakeholder communication, to analyze how the public debate unfolds and what are the interactions between the public debate and the innovative processes in a smart, sustainable cities. So just to give you an idea how something like that looks in practice, that's a visual analytics dashboard that shows the global coverage, global information flows, extracts metadata from them, and then allows an unprecedented level of transparency and granularity when taking a look at all this communication happening in the information space. When we would transform this concept to smart, sustainable cities, there are three main areas of applications where I also present a couple of examples each. The first one is to serve as a knowledge hub, to aggregate, enrich, and visualize information. So not only the structured data that describes processes, innovations, workflows, but also the human communication that surrounds all these processes. The second part then is the publish and engage part. A lot of these technologies can inform, can guide, can improve communication with stakeholders, can improve engagement, can make their own information resources more accessible to citizens. And the third step is then measure and analyze by extracting content-based success metrics. It is, of course, also possible to optimize campaigns, awareness campaigns, for example, and to maximize the impact of one's communication. For the first sector, the knowledge hub, here really the vision is that to provide decision support, to make better decisions, one needs to understand both the real world and all the problems that we are facing, all the innovation that's required, but also what stakeholders and citizens are making out of these processes, because a lot of decisions are being made on who has been more successful in driving the public agenda than on the indicators themselves, unfortunately. So there would be two main applications. One would be decision support tools for policymakers and professional stakeholders, and also novel information services for the cities themselves. So this is just a little example of a EU-funded project we did a few years ago, where we worked together with an Italian telecommunications company. So you see, this is the city of Rome, and there's an overlay of the telecommunications activity, of course fully anonymous, but you see where people communicate, how many messages are being sent, and overlay that is social media communication, where you get real-time explanation of why there might be a cluster of activity in a certain region. The second step is using the information to provide content, to publish content. And one, I don't have the time to go into all these projects, just to give you a bit of an overview. It's on storypack.com. This is using all this knowledge we gain from the public debate to improve the wording of the own outgoing communication. And then visual search tools. So once all this information is out there, we can use these tools to have visual exploration of these resources. We have done some project that was part of Barack Obama's climate action plan, where we aggregated climate change related information from 13 federal agencies in the US and provided all this climate change related information as part of a single search engine. The third part, the computation of success metrics out of all these communication flows. is a big opportunity, especially when you already have, and I've heard already a little about projects in this area that are underway, when you can mix and match it with KPIs from existing processes, from other processes, because this is then we really get both sides of the story. You see improvements in the actual workflow, but you also see if people are aware of these improvements, are best practices being discussed, etc. And in some of our current projects, for example, EPOC and ReTV, another EU project, we're also looking at the predictive potential of analyzing stakeholder communication, because if you analyze the public debate, there is a lot of talk already about future events. And you can use this knowledge about future events to guide your communication campaigns, to already prepare for things that are already known from analyzing this communication. So to stick with the time limit, I kept it very short because I think we have some Q&A afterwards. Anyway, the last slide is just a collection of resources and contact details. So if you have some questions, I'm more than happy, of course, to answer them individually as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Arno. It's amazing, so much experience and so much going into such a big program, and we're so happy to be able to promote this through the platform and get it used by stakeholders around the world.